Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed? The most dangerous lion in the jungle doesn't roar all the time. The deepest ocean makes the least noise. And the most powerful people you know, they don't talk much. They disappear. They go silent. They vanish. And when they come back, the whole world stops to look. Today I'm going to tell you why silence is not weakness, why disappearing is not giving up, and why the most powerful decision you will ever make is to go completely ghost and work in silence first. Let me ask you something important. But before I get into that, I need to ask you a favor. If you're someone who feels like you're stuck, like you're giving everything, but getting nothing back, this video is going to change how you see yourself. So before we go any further, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell, because every week we come back with words that actually mean something. Now let's get into it. All right, now let's talk about something that could change everything for you. The problem nobody talks about. Here is something I want you to think about. Why do most people never change? Not because they don't want to. Not because they don't try. They try. They make plans. They write goals. They get motivated. But nothing changes. And do you know why? Because they are still living in the same environment that created the problem in the first place. The same people, the same conversations, the same distractions, the same noise. You cannot grow in the environment that stunted your growth. You cannot become a new person while holding on to everything old. And that is exactly why the most powerful thing you can do right now is to disappear, to go silent, to vanish from the noise, and build yourself in the dark. So what's the solution? Let me tell you exactly what it is. Now, before you misunderstand me, going silent doesn't mean running away from your problems. It doesn't mean giving up on people. It doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. Going silent means this. You stop explaining yourself to people who were never really listening. You stop performing your progress for people who don't care about your growth. You stop spending your energy on conversations that lead nowhere. And instead, you redirect every single drop of that energy back into yourself. That is what silence really means. It is not emptiness. It is focus. It is not weakness. It is strategy. The lion doesn't announce the hunt. It just moves. And when it's done, the result speaks for itself. Don't believe me? Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Let me give you a real example. You know Elon Musk, the richest person on the planet right now. But here's what most people don't know. Before Tesla, before SpaceX, before everything you see today, Elon Musk disappeared. After leaving PayPal, he locked himself in a room. No announcements, no press releases, no showing the world what he was doing. He spent months teaching himself rocket science, aerospace engineering, astrophysics, subjects he had never studied before. And when he finally came out, he launched SpaceX, a private company that sent rockets into orbit, beating organizations that had been doing it for decades. Everyone was shocked. But here's the thing. They were only shocked because they didn't see what happened. In the silence, they didn't see the nights he spent reading till dawn. They didn't see the failures he worked through alone. They only saw the result. And that is exactly the point. The world doesn't reward your effort. The world rewards your result. So protect your effort. Guard your process. Go silent. And let the outcome do the talking. And this isn't just one person's story. Let me give you another example. Here's another example. Steve Jobs was thrown out of Apple. The company he built. The company he gave everything to. They removed him. And what did he do? He didn't go on interviews crying about it. He didn't post about how unfair it was. He didn't beg for his position back. He disappeared. He went quiet. He bought a small animation company called Pixar. He rebuilt himself completely. He grew in silence. And years later, Apple came back to him. Not the other way around. Apple needed him. They called him back. And when he returned, he gave the world the iPhone, the iPad, the MacBook, products that changed how humanity lives. That is the power of going silent. Not running away. Coming back stronger. Now here's the part nobody warns you about. Here's something nobody tells you. When you go silent, people will talk. They will say you've changed. They will say you think you're better than everyone. They will say you've become arrogant. Let them. Because here's the truth. Mediocrity is afraid of silence. When you stop engaging with noise, noise becomes uncomfortable. When you stop explaining yourself, people feel exposed. When you stop performing for the crowd doesn't know what to do with you. And that discomfort they feel, that is not your problem. Your only problem is staying focused long enough to become who you're supposed to be. The most dangerous version of you is the silent version. The version that stopped arguing. The version that stopped proving itself. The version that just works every single day without needing anyone to watch. That version of you is unstoppable. And science actually backs this up. Remember what we talked about before. Our brain takes 3 seconds to decide how to respond to anything that happens to us. 3 seconds. A person with no self-control loses those 3 seconds to reaction. They react before they think. They speak before they process. They engage before they decide. But a person who has mastered silence uses those 3 seconds differently. Someone insults them, they pause. Someone tries to pull them into drama, they pause. Someone questions their dream, they pause. And in that pause, they choose. They choose whether this deserves their energy. They choose whether this person deserves a response. They choose what serves them and what doesn't. That pause, that 3 seconds of silence, is where power lies. Because the person who controls their response controls the entire situation. Now let's get practical. Here's exactly how to do this. Now let's get practical. If you want to go silent and come back stronger, here is exactly how to do it. Step 1, set your target. Don't disappear without direction. That's not silence, that's just hiding. Know exactly what you're going after. Know your why. Because when things get hard, and they will get hard, your why is the only thing that will keep you moving. Step 2, disconnect. This is the hardest part. Disconnect from the environments that drain your energy. The group chats that go nowhere. The conversations that waste hours. The people who make you feel small. Disconnect from anything that doesn't serve your goal. Not forever. Just long enough to become the person who can handle forever. Step 3, build your plan. Silence without structure is just emptiness. Know what you're doing each day. Know what you're building each week. Know what you're becoming each month. A clear plan turns silence into a weapon. Step 4. Execute without announcing. This is where most people fail. They build a plan, and then they tell everyone about the plan. Don't do that. Work in silence. Execute in private. Let the results make the announcement, because results speak louder than any promise you could ever make. So now you have a decision to make. Right now you have two options. Option 1. You spend the next 2 or 3 years doing what's comfortable. Scrolling, consuming, reacting, explaining yourself. And 10 years from now, you look back at the same version of yourself, wondering why nothing changed. Option 2. You spend the next 2 or 3 years going silent, building, learning, growing, doing the uncomfortable thing every single day when no one is watching. And 10 years from now, you look back at the person you were, and you can't believe how far you've come. Both paths are available to you right now. Both choices are yours to make. But only one of them leads somewhere worth going. And before you go, I want to leave you with one last thing. I want to leave you with this. The world is loud. Everyone is talking. Everyone is posting. Everyone is performing. And in all that noise, silence is the rarest thing on earth. The person who can be silent, who can disappear and work, who can build without needing to be seen. That person has a power that most people will never understand. You don't need to announce your journey. You don't need anyone's permission to grow. You don't need to explain your silence to people who never understood your struggle. Just go, work, build, become, and when you come back, let the result explain everything. Because the most powerful statement you will ever make is not something you say. It's something you become. Go silent. Go build. Come back stronger. The world is waiting for the version of you that stopped talking and started becoming fire. Now, one simple thing before you leave. Right now, go to the comments and write just 2 words. Going silent. That's your commitment. That's your promise to yourself. And if this video spoke to you, share it with one person who needs to hear this right now. One person who is lost in the noise. One person who needs to disappear and find themselves again. Your one share could be the thing that changes their direction. Take care of yourself. Stay silent, stay focused. And always remember, the lion doesn't announce the hunt. It just moves fire.